Hi Capricorn, I hope you're doing well today. This reading is going to be for Capricorn for the month of August of 2022. Let's see, so this is going to be for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, so apply it as necessary for you. Remember that not every message is for everybody, so take what's yours, leave the rest behind. Let's see, don't forget to like and subscribe to the page. What's going to happen is you're going to get notifications for each time videos and things are released, or so anything I post, you'll be notified of it and be able to take a look at that at your leisure. So I'm glad you guys decided to join me today. I'm always excited to do the next video and see what's going on for you and hopefully find a way to help you out. So I'm going to use the Energy Oracle cards. Pardon me, my voice has been going in and out today. The humidity is getting the best of me. It's been insane this summer, right? So let's see what's going on for you guys. Love and money. Love and money, Capricorn. It's always nice, right? It's a nice mix of the two. All right, let's see what's going on. Is it attached to the devil, though? That's not a good thing. All right, let's see. Okay, Spirit, what's going on for Capricorn? Oh, 6th chakra, Archangel, Metatron. This is the second time that card's come out today in a reading, so that's interesting. Starting off on the same foot, awakening, third eye perception, right? Seeing things differently. What's going on with money? I did Gemini's reading earlier today, and money popped up in that, and this, I feel like you're mastering it, seeing it differently. Let's see, what is going on? Or we're walking away from it? Oh gosh. For some of you, this may be a job. For some of you, this may be a marriage type situation where it's like finances have played a key role. You're seeing it differently. It's like I'm perfectly capable of holding my own ground without having maybe what is a codependent, toxic relationship tied to somebody else. So again, seeing things differently, feeling the need to step out on your own in regards to this finances or stability. So let's see, that's going to be the past energy. So in the present energy, it's like, how am I going to provide for my family? How am I going to do these things? I'm going to clarify before I speak on some of these cards, because I'm kind of like, I'm getting quite a few different scenarios. So I'll say this, we'll start here. Feeling that feeling of how do I provide for my family? How do I provide for myself? I'm going to have to find somebody else who's going to do that. So I don't know if a relationship has fallen apart, a job has fallen apart. So you feel like you've got to, I'm going to call it find a replacement is how it comes across to me. Finding a replacement for this source. And, what are you guys doing? Like, excuse me. I just don't even know what to say right now. I'm gonna hold right there. Stop for a second. Okay. You cannot replace one thing for another. Like, well, you can. You know, like you can get rid of your car and get a new one, right? But people are very different. We can't do that with people. Like, there needs to be an emotional wanting of a person in your life. Emotional connection rather than just what they're going to do for you. So, you know, this could be a cross watcher video. This could be for Capricorn. So, I'm so sorry, guys. Gosh, apply it where it fits. So, it's like you're looking to outside sources to provide you with a balance that I feel like there's fear attached to the idea that you're capable of doing it. But then at the same time, it's like once you get there, the fear really sets in and takes control. So understand you're perfectly capable of doing for yourself, and to rely on another person solely for that reason is not going to be beneficial to you in the long run. It might work for today. It might be that hey, it works for maybe 6 months, but what's going to happen in the long term of that situation? So let's see with the past energies, the 6th chakra. Let's clarify that guy and see what's going on. Okay, so whatever was going on in the past to me feels very, somebody wasn't giving to the situation, wasn't giving to what brought happiness around. And you're also beginning to understand that there needs to be an equal balance to coming together, because it feels to me like working together was extremely difficult. It was like, somebody's bearing the burden. So this could be you, Capricorn, this could be a cross watcher. Someone's bearing the burdens of the responsibility that makes you feel trapped. It makes you feel stuck as to how you're going to manage to do this. And that can be extremely tiresome for somebody, or for anybody in that case. Like, if you're involved with somebody, you want them to pull their own equal weight. And then at the same time, if you're dealing with a work situation, if you're making the same amount of pay as, Susie, Bob, and Joe, and Susie, Bob, and Joe aren't doing their work, and you're picking up for the difference, and you're getting paid the same rate they are, that can become extremely defeating, and morale goes down, and you're like, well, what the fuck am I doing this for? Because I'm not getting anywhere any further than anybody else is at this point. I'm doing twice the amount of work and getting reciprocated the same way that they are, and that's not all right. So you can find yourself being in a space of resentment in regards to how that feels, and understanding that this doesn't work. In Queen of Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles, the High Priestess, like you fully know like what you're capable of and what you're able to do. But yet you're finding yourself in this position, like your intuition screaming at you that this does not work. This is not a balanced effort. You know that you stand, your value to this is much more. So for some of you, this could even be, and I'm getting like a stay-at-home mom kind of feeling, like you're staying at home and you're raising the kids and taking care of the house and you're doing all those things. That is a job that I don't think you can put a price tag on, because there's so much to doing that. And so then it's like, well, what did you do today? Well, what did you do today? I mean, granted, you went to work and you brought home a paycheck maybe to the spouse, but in the same breath, like, do you not understand what it takes to keep this home together? So it's like, I'm understanding my value, my worth, whether it would be by exchanging of energy, or an exchanging of money, or exchanging of stability, whatever it might be. But it's also understanding that you're putting in a whole lot of work and not getting a whole lot in return for that. So let's see, walking away. I'm actually not going to clarify all 3 of them, but we'll do it today. I don't know why. I feel like we need to. So when the card on the table is walking away, but I also kind of feel like with her, she's kind of looking back going, are you going to ask me to come back and stay? Or are you going to come back around? You see her? Like, are you gonna bring me back around? Or do you see me? I'm leaving. Do you see me? It's almost kind of like a warning. Like, do you see me? I've got 1 foot out the door. Spirit, here we go. So again, this is kind of what I was getting a little bit ago. I was like, I don't want to speak on it until I get into it, because it seemed to be more a present energy, but it's kind of popping up in the past too. You may have had somebody come around you, and this to me has got third party all over it. I might sneeze. I feel like this humidity, it just rained here. Every time it rains, my allergies go goofy. So bear with me, please. I'm so sorry. So this may be, to me, this feels like you had another option. You had somebody maybe around you come in and offer you some type of love, some type of situation. This could be, somebody outside of your relationship that can create conflict, in the sense that, leave one thing before you start another, basically, would be the best way to put it. But it's like, I'm giving to this, even though I maybe shouldn't be, but I'm still looking back to the person that I've walked away from, or the job I've walked away from, or the situation I've walked away from, because it felt good when everybody worked together, but when nobody's working together, I'm going to go off and find what my, 4 of Wands sitting here, what my 4 of Wands is, what my happiness is, where my stable foundations are, where my sense of togetherness exists. But it's going to create some conflict, because somebody in the situation is very guarded. And you can't if you're not going to let people in, they're not going to come in, right? Like they can only go so far. And at the same time, like I feel like your energy is being shifted into two different places. One is like of the past or the things that you had or the things you still have, but then playing with this energy outside of that situation, which can create a lot of conflict in the long term. And when I'm looking at this, the second row, I've got anxiety, happy family, and a man holding heart. Again, two storylines to that as well. This is kind of wild. One, you're relying on another person, a third party, to come in and be like the saving grace there, to take care of you, take care of the family kind of life that you're desiring to have, that is not being reciprocated, or job-wise, someone else coming in to save you in that regard. But then I also feel like this other person, the original person in the storyline, basically, is trying to stop you from leaving, asking you to return. But I continue to see, anxiety is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles, the Tower, and let's see what it's got. Just too many. The world is just too close. Let's see. Spirit's throwing out too many cards for me right now. Okay, so, and then the Ace of Wands. We got the King of Wands underneath that. So, I feel like you're quick to act on this, maybe not thinking it through, understanding where you've put your energy and efforts. Like, again, it wasn't being reciprocated. You're reviewing the past, reviewing the things that didn't work, where you put that energy. And to me, it's kind of like, typically Ace of Wands is new beginnings, but to me it was like it went up in fire. Like every effort you put in, everything you tried to do, it just seemed to add fuel to the fire of whatever this discord was, the separation that was occurring. So who is this man holding a heart for you? And of course, this to me, on clarification, appears to me to be more third party related. Because this to me, like I said, I think I said earlier in this that maybe it was Gemini's reading, I can't remember. This isn't about, this person, this third party is not about love. This is about you finding a way out. This is about codependency, toxicity, feeding our ego, feeding the things that really don't serve us in the long run. The Nine of Pentacles, the Devil, and the King of Swords in reverse. And then the Knight of Swords underneath that. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There might be some lust there. There might be some things like that, but also understand that this King of Swords, he is what I consider as a reader to be manipulating. And, like he's going to do what he has to. He's going to play dirty to get what he wants. So if you've got a third party offering you paradise, you better slow down with that, because the Knight of Swords, to me, he's not my favorite knight at all, because I feel like he's just quick to just go off and do whatever. He makes hasty decisions, and if you're I feel like this is your energy, Capricorn, that you're in this, and Capricorn, you're in your own reading, the Devil, right? So it's this could be you, this could be them, but one of you in this situation is not. It's not, and it could be both of you too, for that matter. But this third party aspect of it all, to me, is, you're playing with fire. You played with fire back here, you got burnt, it didn't work out. Now you're playing with fire again, moving forward in another unhealthy way. It's kind of like moving from one toxic situation into another, thinking that something's going to resolve just because you change the course of action, but you're still doing it with the same type of person. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But if you're doing it, I told you it was coming. I knew no doubt about it. But if you just change the person but continue to do the same shit, you're going to get the same result. And each time it's probably going to get worse. It's breaking those toxic patterns. So, guys, we're in the Lion's Gate portal right now. It's time to manifest new beginnings. Don't continue to play with this low-level energy. You feel like you've had no support. No support from the past at all. No support from the people. And you may feel like the people around you who you're talking to about this, they're not supporting you. They're telling you to turn around and go back to where you started from. Because I feel like there's regret sometimes in what you're doing, and you may find that you're coming into regret in due time for making changes or even staying. Let's see what else comes out. I feel like there's regret tied to leaving, tied to moving, tied to making some other decision that maybe you should have put more effort in the past. Yeah, and it's causing more, the anxiety card from the other deck, I've got the Nine of Swords here. It's causing you to really be up in your head about how you made some quick emotional decisions based on what was going to make you feel good just in that moment. And I tell people that I work with all the time, like, if you've got a good, what you conceive to be a good idea, write it down, go over your list of all your fantastic ideas, and then go back in a week and see if you still feel the same way. Because if you do, you still feel as passionately about it next week as you did today, then you know that you're probably doing something right. But if you go back and you doubt yourself in any capacity, it's probably something you shouldn't do. You're not in the right emotional space to make that commitment to end or begin anything. So, let's see, this yin and yang energy, what's going on, spirits? What's good for Capricorn, please? Capricorn. If there's kids involved, don't be dragging them from one situation to the next. That's not good either. That's not a healthy thing to do. Or I'm hearing you may be dealing with an ex who's doing that with your children. You do what you have to protect your kids with right senses, of course. Don't do nothing stupid. But I do feel like this can be Spirit saying, someone else is taking my kids and doing this with them kind of vibe. So pay attention. Like, again, you might be a cross watcher, keeping an eye on your Capricorn kind of thing. So yeah, they may be making some irrational decisions right now. And it's kind of like you're going to have to sit back and let things take their course to a certain extent. There's that damn Knight of Wands again, or Knight of Swords, I'm sorry. This is self-defeating, self-sabotaging, trying to win at all costs. You might be a temporary win. It's like, people can win battles, but did you win the war? And, taking off and just doing things in the heat of a moment, it's not going to do you justice in the long run at all. So we've got that with the Emperor and the Seven of Swords. Oh my gosh. For some of you, there might be 3 people around you in particular. I got 3 back here. Where was it at again? There's a couple of them. You might have 3 people around you. 3 people vying for your attention, 3 people promising you the world. And I've got to tell you, I don't think anything of them is serving you, because I kind of feel like you're trying to just duck out of all of it in a lot of ways. In other ways, you're trying to find someone who's going to come in and rescue you. And what you're doing, though, is in that rescuing, you're trying to get what you can to move on and forward from whatever this is. This Emperor with the Seven of Swords. Yuck. Just yuck. I mean, he can be a wonderful, the Emperor in the upright, in certain circumstances, I think is fantastic. He's wonderful. He's intellectual. He knows. He is the master of all. With the Seven of Swords, though, it's being, I'm going to call it a little big for their britches, is what Spirit's giving me, right? Like, they think they've got it composed. They present themselves in a way that is very well put together, and they're loving and they're compassionate, and they just want to care for everything. And you cannot do that with the Seven of Swords energy. This is just, let me see what I can get. And I kind of feel like for some of you, this can be a karmic situation where it's like, maybe you've done something like that in the past. You could have learned your lesson and healed from that, but now it's kind of coming back around as well. That to me is concerning, like in a sense that, well, we reap what we sow. So, right, like, we take the good with the bad, and we have to answer for the things that we've done. But it's fighting to win. It's fighting to win at all costs. It doesn't matter who I hurt in the process. I'm going to come out on top. And if that's the end game, and to me, like the yin and yang energy and getting those cards, that's really signifying to me that these offers or whatever's coming in is not for the betterment of anybody in this situation. So pay attention. pay attention and don't make rash decisions, right? Like if you've got to make that list, like I was saying a little bit ago, you got to make that list and decide next week if you still feel the same about it as you did this week, then do that. Because you're walking into, I almost want to call it, well, Spirit's putting out to me, it's a trap. It's a trap. You're moving from one situation that may, like with the dedication and work, if you don't put the dedication and work into whether it's a work situation, a family situation, relationships, whatever it is, you're not going to reap the rewards from that work. You know, and I don't see any rewards being given in this. It's a desire to have, but you've got to put the work in to get there as well. So here's the thing. What you want, here it is. What you want wants you. So what you're desiring wants to be a part of your world as well, but you've got to put the work in to get it. Like you don't not go to work and then still collect a paycheck, right? So inner trust and collaborative dreaming. I would say to you, like if you're in a situation right now with a person to begin with, or a situation with work, you have to work together. You have to make an attempt to bring it together. Because if you don't work together to bring it together, if you're not communicating, if you're not trusting that feeling within you that's like this could go bad. This is just for now. Like this whole idea of instant gratification sits here with me so heavy. And it's like, okay, fine. So you do it today. You have a great week. You have a great month, maybe 6 months. Everything's still fine and hunky-dory because you're trying to create a false foundation yet again. But at the end of it, you're still going to be left alone to figure it out. You've traded one bad situation for another. It doesn't help you. It's a time to, if you're being forced out of a situation or feel like you can't be in a situation anymore, it's time to take the time for yourself to heal that and collaboratively work with other people to find a way through. Because this is a cycle that wants to close out for you. It's right there, but it's asking you to be present for it. You know, you have to be on board with closing this cycle out. Spirit, our guides, their job is not to intervene. Their job is to guide us. But you also, again, have to put in the work to be guided to where you're supposed to be. So, you know, you're not going to get rainbows, butterflies, and miracles just because. I'm going to throw one more, actually. Let me see something. I don't usually use this love deck, but so I feel like, you know, I said back in the beginning, this could have been a marriage, this could be whatever, where you're turning your back away from it, that walking away card, right? Walking into other third-party situations. 2 cards. First one is give your relationship a chance. The underlying to that is deception. So, you know, either it could be you or the other person who is got a third-party situation going on. Again, that goes back to you give your relationship a chance. If you're not putting in the work, if this is a love situation, you don't put in the work to the relationship, you don't water the seeds that you've already planted, they are not going to grow. It's as plain and simple as that. Again, we reap what we sow. We plant our seeds in the spring. We get to the fall. We can harvest our stuff. So whether, you know, to me, again, I'm going to go right back to the third party. And, you know, and I don't know if you're deceiving yourself, being afraid that someone else is going to hurt you or what this is exactly. But you can't. Don't live in fear. And I've said this so many times in all of these videos so far, and fear is what runs our lives, and it takes control if we let it. And I feel like, again, couple storylines, apply it where it fits, that, you know, you may have a home life and all of a sudden you just don't feel appreciated, so I'm just going to go off and venture into the wild unknown, basically, and hopefully someone else out there or somebody else also, you know, may already be entertaining you or entertaining your person, right? And there's some lies and deceit around that. You're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest with your person. You're 1 foot in, 1 foot out again. You know, it's time to discern what morally sits right with you. What in here, you know, like do the right thing, not just for everybody else, but for yourself. Because you realize that no matter what it is that you're doing right now, you're creating karma down the line for yourself. Why walk into a shitstorm if you don't need to, right? So think about that. It's very, very important to do. So yeah, guys, you know, I feel like maybe you guys can't just get on the same page about certain things. There's certain aspects of the way you live. You know, you might be a neat freak, they might be a slob. You might feel like certain work is your work, certain work is their work. They might see it differently. So if it's a matter of just how you guys are, you know, those kind of factors, you know, sometimes those things can be worked through. Other times people are, they're not willing to compromise in those situations either. So, you know, work on what you already have planted for so long as it's a healthy situation, though. Don't be, you know, if you got some kind of abuse or some shit going on like that, get out, you know, and you don't have to leave it for another situation. You just leave and take care of you. So, you know, as long as things are healthy overall, you know, work on, understand where the turmoil is coming from, the conflict's coming from, the letdowns are coming from, and go from there, and then figure it out. But don't be deceptive, you know. Don't move from one situation to the next just because you don't want to be alone. It's very codependent energy, very codependent. And that's not healthy. Like, we all deserve healthy relationships, but we also have to be in a place where we're willing to accept those healthy relationships. And even if, again, I feel like this is more relationship wise, but should this be work, you know, you can have those kind of energies at work as well, and be discerning of that too. So Capricorn, thanks for putting up with my fading voice. I appreciate you. Guys, like, subscribe, let me know if the reading resonates with you. Take what was for you, leave the rest out. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.